Peace. This is about Congress passes 911 Victim Compensation Fund extension championed by John Stewart. And of course, as you know, before I have done a video about Mr. Alvarez was fighting for compensation rights, I guess, because of the first responders were dying from cancer and whatever other problems there was from all the 911 things, and of course you know how that is. And of course this is one of the people, I don't know if this is John Stewart or whoever this is, so I'm not sure, but he was fighting for it, and of course Mr. Alvarez was fighting up till the very last of his breath was taken, and of course he passed away. The Senate passed a bill 972 Tuesday to fund the 911 Victim Compensation Fund for decades, permanently compensating individuals who were injured during the 2001 terror attacks and their aftermath, rescuing people and removing debris under hazardous conditions. So the Congress has passed the bill finally for the to fund the 911 victims compensation fund for, and of course a lot of the firefighters have passed away, and and it's really hard when you have to dig people out from underneath everything that after the Twin Towers had fell down. The House passed the bill earlier this month, and President Donald Trump is expected to sign it. So Donald Trump is going to sign this bill that just got passed. So this way people can get help or whatever else they need. Comedian John Stewart and surviving first responders, including John Field, pushed Congress to pass the extension before rewards diminished and the fund expired in 2020. When it became clear the bill would overwhelmingly pass, a group of first responders and Stewart stood and clapped in the visitors' gallery above the Senate floor. Yeah, so you had all the first responders and of course John Stewart, they all clapped in the visitors' gallery because this bill was passed. And of course John Field pushed Congress to pass the extension before rewards diminished and the fund expired in 2020, because that's when it was going to expire. And of course here in the picture is Rand Paul, who is speaking out about it. For tens of thousands of people that are waiting to hear the outcome of this, my heart bleeds with joy, knowing that so many people are going to get help. Field told CNN, everything we asked for, we got. And of course, CNN is a bunch of liberal stations, obviously. But, of course, for tens of thousands of people that are waiting to hear the outcome of this, their hearts are bleeds with the joy that because of this bill had passed. Field said he gave 15 years of his life to the cause, and the passage of the bill would change him. I get to physically and mentally heal, Field said. And so he get to physically and mentally heal at last because of what happened at the ground zero after the Twin Towers fell. And of course, there's asbestos everywhere and flying this and that, and it was just a horrible mess. And when you're working, you gotta expect for the asbestos thing to be all over the place, and of course you can't take the smell of anything else that's in there, of course, because the asbestos is very dangerous. But I don't think when the Twin Towers had any of that. In the face of dwindling resources and a surge in claims, the fund's administrator announced in February that it would need to significantly reduce its rewards. Special Master Rupa B. said the fund received over 19,000 compensation forms from 2011 to 2016 and almost 20,000 more from 2016 to 2018, in part due to an increased rate of serious illness. Yeah, of course they did. They had redo. I mean, it was terrible. You had to go through a lot of things that had needed to be funded, and this was one of them. And of course, they said the fund received over 19,000 compensation forms from 2011 to 2016, and almost 20,000 more from 2016 to 2018. So there was a lot of compensation forms that had to be filled out and everything. The original fund from 2001 to 2004 distributed over $7 billion to compensate the families of over 2,880 people who died on 9/11 and 2,680 individuals who were injured, according to the Justice Department in 2011. Congress reactivated the fund and in 2015 reauthorized it for another 5 years, appropriating $7.4 billion to aid thousands more people. The fund was set to stop taking new claims in December 2020. Yeah, so, of course, the original fund from 2001 to 2014, or 2004, was distributed over $7 billion. And now the new claims, of course, it was supposed to set to stop taking new claims in December 2020 of next year, and of course it would be the $7.4 billion to aid thousands more people. The new bill would extend the expiration date through 2090 and cost what it deemed necessary. The Congressional Budget Office estimates it will cost about $10 billion over the next decade. Last week, Senator Rand Paul delayed the bill's passage, criticizing Congress for not offsetting its cost but not cutting government spending elsewhere. Well, alright, so Senator Rand Paul was delayed the bill's passage. In other words, he didn't want it to go through really, but unfortunately it did, because this is what it needed to be done. And of course the new bill would extend the expiration date through 2090, and I doubt very much people are going to be alive by that time. And of course, he was criticizing Congress for not offsetting its cost by not cutting government spending elsewhere. Well, when you got the foreign bank companies overseas that want their $22 trillion, yeah, I know, we kind of figured that's what it does in that. The bill is named after James Zadroga, Luis Alves, and Ray Pfeiffer, two New York police detectives and a firefighter who responded to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks and died due to health complications attributed to their work at Ground Zeroes. Yeah, so these 3 people have passed away because of health complications. And of course, Alvarez was the one that was fighting to get this bill passed, but when he passed away, I guess John Stewart took over after that, and so until finally it did get passed after all. Leave your comments below. I am out.